Blessed be the name of the Lord. This is Pastor Michael from God is Enough Ministry, a Division of Life Application, Apostolic Bible Church. Happy Sunday to you once again. May the glory of God continue to abide with you, and may His countenance continue to be upon you. Today I would like to share the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 3, verse 1 to 10. However, before we go into the word, do please join me on YouTube through Pastor Mike TV and also on Facebook. And do please subscribe. The topic for today is becoming a giant in the service of God. Becoming a giant in the service of God. The bigger your sanctuary is, or multitudes are, will not make you a giant in the service of God. In this first book of Samuel, chapter 3, verse 10, it talks about the what? Call narratives and prophetic establishment for the Israelite leader, or for an Israelite leader named Samuel, who was called into service while under Eli, the priest. And he heard God's voice 3 times, and so stunningly answered in verse 10, "Speak, for your servant is listening." Speak, for your servant is listening. Well, are we today really listening to God when He calls? Are we listening to God's call and when He wants? God does not give eternal responsibility to anyone until he or she does what? Has established an enduring relationship with Him. Which includes what? Which includes 1, objective and goals for serving God. Just as Anna did through what? Through vow. That you can read in 1 Samuel chapter 1 verse 11. Number 2, we talk of commitment. Commitment, that is, committing oneself to that goal or vow. That is, religious requirement to self-dedication. To do what? To formalize your commitment to God. That you can also read in 1 Samuel chapter 1 verse 24 to 28. Number 3, suffering for the sake of that goal. Suffering for the sake of that goal. That is, under conducive or unconducive situations, spiritually or socially, yet you remain steadfast. You remain steadfast. In this first book of Samuel, chapter 2, verse 22, Eli, the priest, suffered but remained steadfast. Though Eli's indulgence of his what? Of his 2 sons, or wicked sons, who are the violators of religious and moral principles, that brought shame and discredit on the national sanctuary. Through what? Through how they did what? How they also slept with women who served at the entrance to their tabernacle of what? Tabernacle of meeting. God was neither disturbed, discouraged, or angry for lack of response when he calls. Yes, we are servants of God, but are we spiritually answering his call? Well, God continued to call until you are ready for deeper revelation and relationship with him. Meaning, total obedience to God will translate you into his kingdom and make you a giant in the service of God. And make you a giant in the service of God. Remember, God's calling is subject to what? Is subject to a redemption upon acceptance. God's calling is subject to repentance, or rather redemption upon acceptance. The question now is, are you a giant in the service of God? Are you a giant in the service of God? Well, brethren, I will stop right here for now. Until next time when we shall meet again. But do please remember that God is absolutely enough for you at all times. And do please stay blessed.
Before you leave, here's what's new at God is Enough Ministry. We see that many of you have questions after viewing our videos. So here is your opportunity to ask your questions regarding any of our topics by sending an email to pastormiketv@gmail.com. Thank you! And as always, please remember to subscribe, like, and share this video with your family and friends. Thank you for watching. See you next week, Sunday.